Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm so glad that you could join me once again. So for today's episode, I wanted to share with you how you can create the perfect cocktail party at home. It is the holiday season where we do entertain a lot in our homes, so you may find this video helpful and useful. Last week, I was in London staying with my best friend Vanessa. She has recently moved into her new home and she's been decorating over the last few months, so we decided to have a Christmas cocktail party for some friends. So I thought that I would share some snippets of that with you, some of the food that we made and some of the cocktails that we served at the house. And then I'll be offering some more useful tips so that you can create the most elegant cocktail party possible. I know cocktail parties can be stressful, but for now you don't have to worry about that. You can just sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode. I'm out and about buying supplies for our cocktail party. One of the things I love the most about London is the abundance of choice when it comes to shopping. Even buying groceries is fun. It is so varied and the boutiques are really beautiful. When it comes to food at my cocktail parties, I like to serve something that is not only delicious, but that's also really easy to eat. Have you ever been to a party and you're given foods that are quite complicated, you've dressed up for the occasion, and you're left with a bit of a mess in your hands? So always think about the type of food that you serve and make it really easy for your guests to eat. One of my very favourite things to serve at a party are deviled eggs. I've been really wanting to make them all year, so I thought that now was a great opportunity. So let's make deviled eggs together, the perfect cocktail party food. To begin, I'm placing the eggs into boiling water and I will let them simmer for about 15 minutes. Once cooked, I'll place them in a bowl of ice water to let them cool and make them easier to peel. I'm slicing the boiled eggs in half, and then I'll remove the hardened yolk by squeezing the egg. It should just pop out. To this bowl, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of mayonnaise, a teaspoon of English mustard, a little Tabasco, some smoked paprika and salt, and a tiny amount of water. Then I'll mix it all together and scoop it back into the egg halves. I'll then garnish with some more paprika and some chopped chives. Next, I'm making a Negroni spumante. In a cocktail glass, I'm adding lots of ice, 1 shot of gin, 1 shot of Campari, and 1 shot of Aperol. To finish, I'll top it up with Prosecco. I just love this cocktail. It is so festive and perfect for an evening cocktail party. I'm sure all your guests will really enjoy it. I love to get my guests excited about parties by sending them invitations. My favourite place to do this is paperlesspost.com. You can send out elegant invitations in minutes and don't have to worry about posting them out. It is both modern and traditional at the same time. It is so easy to edit them. You can create all different designs to suit your needs, and I just think these are a very elegant way of inviting your guests to a party. So those of you that know me really well know that I always talk about the importance of lighting when trying to create an ambient setting in your home. So although I never have the overhead lights on in my own house, I will make sure that they're definitely switched off when I'm having a party, and instead I will use lamps dotted around the room to create beautiful pools of light. And I think that is the most beautiful way to light a room. It makes everyone look beautiful and glowing, and it also creates this really cozy atmosphere. Next, I like to think about candlelight. So although I do light scented candles as well, I will also light non-scented candles and little votive holders, as well as tapered candles on candlesticks around the room in odd numbers and at different heights, so that you've got a lot of flickering light around the room. It really will make people feel cozy and at home, and that is what you want to do. You want to create a really beautiful home from home feeling for your guests, so that when they walk into the room, they're going to feel instantly at ease. Now, when you are thinking about scented candles, my advice is to just use one scent throughout the home and place it in all the areas that you're going to be entertaining. If you have a hallway, obviously that is the first impression that will greet your guests, so it's important to think about placing a scented candle there, and then in the entertaining spaces, so your living rooms, kitchens, and even in your bathrooms too. I think bathrooms can often be neglected, people leave them as an afterthought, but it is the room where your guest is going to go, all of your guests are going to go, and that is the space where they're going to really get to see your home in its true glory. So speaking of bathrooms, I also think it's very, very important to think about making those rooms cozy and inviting as well. I always like to use cotton hand towels, individual ones, so that each guest can use their own to dry their hands and then throw it into a waste paper basket so that it can be laundered. I think it's quite impolite to make every guest share the same hand towel. So do think about that as well. You can pick those up from a place like IKEA and they're very inexpensive, but they really are effective in creating a beautiful atmosphere, more than you would expect. I also like to have a beautiful hand soap and cream so that people can wash their hands and then use a lovely cream to moisturize their hands and have a wonderful scent. That is a very thoughtful thing to do. When I was in London last week, I met a friend for coffee at Claridge's, which is a very beautiful hotel. And in the bathrooms there, they have a little dispensable jar with mouthwash inside, and then at the side, little paper cups. And you can dispense some mouthwash into it and then have a quick shot of mouthwash. And I thought that was a genius idea when you've been to lunch or dinner, especially if you're serving food at your home. Guests might feel a little bit self-conscious and will want to freshen their breath. So that is always a way to make them feel even more comfortable and relaxed in your home. And these little things really are what make a party so special and take it from being okay to marvelous. Now, there's no point creating this beautifully cozy atmosphere if when your guests arrive, you are a flustered mess. So my advice is whatever's happened during the preparation of your party, for example, if things haven't gone quite to plan, my advice is just to ignore it, have a nice drink, and you need to forget about it, because otherwise your guests would arrive, you'll be flustered and in a panic, and then no one is going to enjoy the party. I have been to parties where the host isn't prepared or something hasn't gone quite right and they are in a bit of a mood, and that rubs on to the whole party and everybody finds it a little bit awkward and a little bit difficult to relax. So yeah, forget whatever bad has happened, enjoy a drink with your friends. They've come here to spend time with you in your home. I'm sure whatever's happened can be fixed by a wonderful evening of fun with your friends. I always like to think of myself like a swan, where I'm looking very serene and calm on the outside, but maybe inside I'm thinking about, has that person got a drink? Is the food ready to come out? Is everything clean in the bathroom? So I'm always thinking about things, about how I can make things beautiful for my guests, but on the outside I look happy, relaxed, and I am really having fun, so it isn't all just an act. One of the things that can often get overlooked at a party is the music. I have been to parties where everything is wonderful, but then you realize that something is missing, and it is the music. Sometimes people forget to put music on, or they put on a playlist that is a bit inappropriate for the setting, and then sometimes people have the music too loud or too quiet. So my advice is to really think about the music in your home, think about the ambience that you want to create. For example, if you're having a cocktail party with friends, you're going to want something that is upbeat but not too crazy. You know, it's not a rave. but you also don't want to send them to sleep with boring, dull music. So maybe have something like jazz to elegantly play in the background. You don't want it too loud, but you do want people to be able to hear it. The goal is to have the music pleasantly in the background to kill any awkward silences and just create a nice gentle melody throughout the house. What you also want to do is to change the music throughout the evening. When your guests first get here and they haven't had a drink, they're going to be a bit more shy and reserved. But as the evening goes on and people start to become more relaxed, you may want to up the tempo of the music a little bit and just make things a little bit more fun and exciting for everyone. The key is to read the mood of the room and follow with that. And I'm sure also that once things really get going, your guests will want to ask if they can also put some music on as well. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really hope that you have enjoyed this episode and found it fun and useful. Before I leave, I just wanted to let you know that if you've ordered something from nicholasfairford.com, we are having a little bit of problems with the Royal Mail in this country. They are on strike over the last few weeks, so it's meant that deliveries are very slow. So if you're waiting for your deliveries, I do apologize, and I hope that it will get with you very soon. Also, because of this, I ordered Christmas cards for all of my patrons, and I'm still waiting for them to arrive. They are very special with a picture of Sophie and I on them, so I do want to use those ones rather than going out to a store to buy something else. So I will wait for those to come, and hopefully I will be able to send them out before Christmas. Well, I look forward to seeing you next time, but until then, take care. Bye bye.